In the unforgiving universe of high gastronomy, prestige is a fragile illusion, kept alive by the sweat of those who truly understand the weight of a knife. For years, the restaurant Le Jardin was the crown jewel of the city, boasting the most coveted stars in the market. But the true soul of that place was not in the crystal chandeliers or the Egyptian linen tablecloths. The soul had a name: Helena.
While the dining room exuded a silent luxury, the kitchen was a furnace of absolute pressure. Helena, the talented executive chef, did not cook for fame or for the cameras. She cooked for life. Every sauce reduced to perfection, every plate meticulously finished, was the guarantee that Sophia, her young niece with fragile health, would continue having access to the most advanced and expensive medical treatments in the country. The girl was Helena's safe haven. For the chef, keeping the restaurant at the top was the only barrier between her family's survival and absolute bankruptcy.
But the empire had changed hands. After the death of the original founder, the keys to Le Jardin fell into the lap of his son, Julian, an heir drowning in deep insecurity. Julian did not possess an ounce of his father's talent, and he hated the culinary arts precisely because they exposed his mediocrity to the world. To him, the restaurant was not a cultural heritage. It was just a metric, a chart where he needed to prove that his corporate coldness and ruthless cost-cutting were superior to human effort. Julian's obsession with proving his worth soon poisoned the menu. Backed by financial consultants who had never endured the heat of a grill, he ordered a brutal change to maximize profits. Local producers and fresh ingredients were banned overnight. In their place, boxes upon boxes of frozen pastes and cheap industrial sauces began to cross the back doors. The breaking point occurred on the night of the most profitable event of the year, a gala dinner for high-level investors. Upon opening the gallons of synthetic ingredients, Helena smelled the corporate fraud. Serving that was not just an insult to her profession, it was an unforgivable betrayal of every guest's trust. Without hesitation, she made a drastic decision. Helena ordered her team to throw the industrial batches in the trash, and using her own pocket money, utilized her personal reserve of fresh ingredients to save the dinner. The food was served, and it was flawless, drawing applause from the dining room. But Julian's fragile pride was destroyed. When the last guest left and the dining room lights went out, the heir marched into the kitchen. There was no argument. There was no gratitude for the averted disaster. There was only the calculated strike of a man who needed to crush someone else's brilliance to feed his own ego.
You are not an artist, Helena. You are a cost. Pack your things and get out of my kitchen.
Julian, please. I have a sick niece. Her treatment, she depends on me. Don't do this.
This is not a hospital. It's a business. Security, escort her to the street.
The dismissal was recorded as termination for cause due to insubordination. But the true atrocity was yet to come. To ensure Helena would not embarrass him at any rival establishment, Julian triggered an obscure and abusive non-compete clause hidden in the fine print of her contract. Helena was legally banned from stepping foot in any high-end kitchen in the city. She walked through the cold streets that early morning, the weight of the world crushing her shoulders. The chef did not fear losing the status or the stars on her jacket. She feared the look in Sophia's eyes when she got home and said the money for the medicine was gone. Julian's financial empire seemed secure and untouchable, but by pushing Helena into absolute despair, he had just signed his own ruin. The walk back home was the longest of Helena's life. When she opened the door to her small apartment, the smell of medicine mixed with the heavy weight of failure.
Sophia was on the couch, pale, but with that gentle smile that always lit up the room. However, upon seeing her aunt's red, defeated eyes, the girl's smile faded.
Sophia, my love, forgive me. I swear I tried, but I was fired. They took everything. I don't know how we are going to pay for your treatment next month.
Aunt Helena, look at me. Don't cry. Your magic was never in those expensive pans or designer tablecloths. Your magic is in your hands. You are the best chef in the world, and we are going to find a way. I trust you.
Those words were not just comfort. They were the spark Helena needed. With the few savings she had left, she rented a dirty, abandoned bakery on the industrial outskirts of the city. There was no luxury, just peeling bricks and an old wood-fired oven. After weeks of hard work scrubbing grease off the floor, they opened the hearth. But success wasn't magical. The first days were cruel. Helena cooked incredible dishes that ended up getting cold on the counter of an empty room. Only a few local factory workers came in, suspicious of that sophisticated food served on clay plates. It was watching her aunt's silent effort that Sophia, even weakened in the cashier's chair, decided to act. She picked up her phone and started recording behind the scenes. The sound of garlic sizzling in olive oil, the thick steam of bone broth simmering for hours, the exhaustion on Helena's face that turned into a smile when handing a perfect plate to a tired worker. The videos had no luxury filters. They had truth. And slowly, the internet began to respond. While the small flame of the hearth began to grow organically, the empire of Le Jardin rotted. Helena's absence turned the kitchen into a depressing assembly line. The elite clients soon realized they were paying fortunes for food that tasted like plastic.
Mr. Julian, reservations have dropped 40% this week. Mr. Harrison and the other investors are asking questions about the drop in quality.
It's your fault, you incompetents. The brand has my last name. The menu is the same. Keep serving. The clients know nothing about business. I will not take orders from people who don't know the value of a spreadsheet.
The arrogance was a cardboard shield. Julian was blind to his own sinking ship. While he yelled at his staff in an increasingly empty dining room, in the city's suburbs, the line to enter Helena's bistro was starting to wrap around the block. The abyss between corporate greed and honest work was about to swallow the air forever. The final consecration arrived on a rainy night. The buzz on social media had become too loud for the high society purists to ignore. Drawn by the digital fever, Victor Vance, the country's most ruthless and feared food critic, sat anonymously at the back of the hearth. He demanded no attention. He just ordered the house special. When the rustic plate arrived, Victor took the first bite. He closed his eyes, chewed in absolute silence. Slowly, he put down his silverware and called the chef to the table.
For 10 years, I have traveled the world tasting emptiness wrapped in gold. Today, you reminded me why I fell in love with food. This is a masterpiece, Chef Helena.
The next morning, the review took the front page of the country's main cultural sections. Victor not only praised Helena's bistro as the beating heart of modern gastronomy, but he used the same page to publicly annihilate Julian's restaurant, calling it a corporate graveyard of synthetic food. The impact was devastating. That same afternoon, the phones at Le Jardin didn't stop ringing, but they weren't reservations, they were mass cancellations. The final blow came when the suits from the investment fund walked into Julian's office.
You can't withdraw the capital now. It's just one review. My father founded this place. I demand that you...
Your father founded it. You destroyed it. We're out, Julian. Declare bankruptcy.
The doors of Les Jardins were locked with chains that same night. Julian was left alone on the cold sidewalk, drowning in millions of debt, his pride permanently crushed. Karma had collected the bill, and the price charged for greed was absolute. But the universe always balances the scales for those who do not give up. In the weeks that followed, the same investors who abandoned Julian knocked on the door of the humble suburban bistro. They didn't offer Helena a job, they offered her the crown, a multi-million-dollar partnership where she would be the absolute majority owner of her own restaurant chain. Months after the storm, the true climax did not happen in a luxury kitchen or on a magazine cover. It happened in the white room of a reference hospital. Helena was sitting on the edge of the bed holding Sophia's hand. The afternoon sun shone through the window as the head doctor walked through the door, smiling, and handed the chef an envelope.
Sophia, the tests. All clear. It's over, my love. The treatment is 100% paid, and you are cured.
The two embraced, and Helena's tears of relief washed away all those early mornings of fear and uncertainty. Justice may be delayed, and the path of honest effort may be the cruelest of all. But in the end, a true legacy could never be stolen, bottled, or charted on a spreadsheet. It belongs forever to those who surrender their own soul.